was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
Hey, Sean.
So,
I was while we were waiting for the live or the countdown, I looked up on Perplexity. Which AIs do you? I've asked you before. I just don't remember. Which AI platforms do you lean into?
ChatGPT is the only one I use. I don't use anything
Okay.
else.
I toggle between 4 different platforms. So Perplexity and ChatGPT are my go-to. But based on what my work environment is or what I'm trying to what I'm working on, I'll toggle into Notebook or Notebook. What is it? Wow, brain fade. What's it called? LM?
I don't know. I don't use it. I only use ChatGPT. I don't use anything else.
Okay, it's Google Notebook. I think it's LM. Hey, Aaron, what's going down? Howdy from Australia, boys. That's from the land down under. Do you know a cool 80s song regarding Australia, Sean?
No.
Seeing how you love 80s. Really? Men at Work.
Oh, yeah.
And their iconic song, I think it's just called Down Under. I love that song. What's up, Mike? G'day, Mike. G'day, Mike. I'm terrible at accents. Anyhow, so the point is, Sean, I don't know about you, but I do a deep dive on certain topics on YouTube. Real honest advice from real businessmen who guys are awesome. Well, Nolan's Auto Detail. Thank you. Appreciate that. So does Sean.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Thank you for joining the live stream.
Yeah. Let me add a bit of a caveat to that, Nolan. Honest and candid. Probably, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm too candid for a lot of people. What do you think, Sean?
Nah.
You're okay? I know you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Most time. Yeah, I would say you're okay with it.
It doesn't bug me.
Yeah.
So, Umberto.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás, Umberto? Or how do you say night? Noche? What's evening?
Good evening.
Yeah.
Buenas noches.
Noches?
Buenas noches.
Yeah, but noches is evening.
Yeah,
correct?
It goes for evening and nighttime. There is no evening.
Okay. Buenas noches, Umberto. So, Sean, I do a deep dive on AI. I've been, I think I saw you in there, Umberto, when I was watching the. Just as a heads up, Sean.
Yeah.
Because you've talked about this stuff before. You have a a live stream, which is what we're doing, but then you have like a premiere. I don't remember what you called it.
Yeah.
Premiere?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nick did a premiere.
Right.
So we all tuned in. I've never done that before. I mean, I kind of get the appeal. It's funny because it just ends up being a chat storm between everyone that's tuning in. I don't think it seems like really very few people are even paying attention to the video, because I know when I'm reading all the different comments, I'm thinking there's no way you're going to be able to multitask that moment. There's no evening in Spanish. Yeah, that's what Sean was just saying.
Yeah.
And Sean, to to set the record straight, Umberto, do we know he's from Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Okay, but you are from Latin America, South America, and I always get this, I get confused. Are you Argentine?
No, Peru.
Peru. See, I got it wrong again.
It's all right.
And I try to play the geography in my head because I'm pretty familiar with the geography. In fact, I was just watching a video on one of the countries in South America. What do they call them? Do you know, states? Or because South America is the country.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the continent.
Yeah.
So is it not Uruguay? It's up in the top right hand. Like if you're looking at South America,
yeah,
top right hand, it's it's right on the border, right on the coast. It's a little tiny country. Do you know what I'm referring to?
No, I only know there's Venezuela and but I don't know. I could pull up a map.
It's Bolivia, Venezuela.
Yeah.
There's
Peru,
Chile.
Bolivia is below Peru.
Yes, Ecuador.
Above Peru is Ecuador. Then comes Colombia. Then comes Venezuela.
Yeah, but see, there's a little tiny one up in here.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, the mobile detail shop. Darren, what do you think about CSI polishes after using them? Well, based on that question, you don't know my history. So I am a huge fan of CSI polishes. I used to be a business owner with Tom Horvath, who developed CSI, which stands for Clear Coat Solutions Incorporated, for those people that aren't familiar with CSI. And he has this newest polish out called Ceramic XX. But I'm a huge fan. And that's why I got involved with the company, because he and I were so in alignment, meaning his product line has 5 products. And those products will pretty much all you need as far as the exterior goes. Now, that's an oversimplification because we weren't selling a clay. I mean, we did kind of have a clay bar. Yeah, that's the newest version. But the point is it was all about simplicity, and his unique value proposition that he introduced to the world of detailing 30 plus years ago was a single product polish, which means you just need one polish to go from heavy defect removal down to a swirl-free finish. Now, depending upon the paint or the clear coat or the type of buffer you're using, you might switch pads, but you never had to switch polishes. You never had to go from a compound down to a polish. So you just always use the same polish, which made your life simpler. It was more economical because you're only buying one product. It was just a better system, period. So yeah, huge fan.
There you go, Darren.
Oh, yes, Guyana. Yes, thank you. I knew someone would. Yes, and I'm trying to remember what, I think it was one of these videos, or the topic was what's called expats, which are expatriates that moved to other countries, like a white boy like me, where I'm tired of living in the U.S. for myriad reasons, and I decide I want to relocate to some other part of the world. And so I tune into some of these channels, whether it's the Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Panama City, or Panama, Costa Rica. Yeah, there it is. So Guyana, see, it's a little tiny. So it's right next to Venezuela.
Yeah.
And so Guyana was one of them. Anyhow, interesting. Yeah, so thank you for that, Umberto. Working on a 214 Ultima, 22,000 mile original miles. Interior has never been cleaned. Interior plastic very dry. Needs something to rehydrate. If there's such thing, any chemical you like. Well, I'll give you a tip, Nolan, and I know you are asking for one. I mean, my go-to dressing when I was involved with CSI was their new tire lotion. It's a water-based dressing, but based on your description, because I've dealt with interior plastics that can become so dry, especially after you clean them. So when you use a cleaner that's generally going to be a high alkaline cleaner, it will dry the snot out of some plastics and they become very whitish. So let's say it's a beige or a light gray or even a black. Now you clean it and suddenly there's a zero vibrance to it. And what I experienced in the past is occasionally it was so dramatic that the heaviest dressing I had would still not restore it. So what I discovered, and this is one of my many off-label uses, is I would take, and I'll be specific, it was a solution finish, which is a black trim restore. Now, granted, this only works on dark interior plastics, whether they're dark gray or black, because this is literally like a dye and it is black. Yeah, right there. And it's made for exterior trim, and that's how the bottle is labeled. But I thought, wait a minute, in my logical brain, I'm thinking, if this works on exterior trim, which is plastic, why could I not use it on plastic components on the interior? So that's what I did, is I would use that to restore if I ever came across this. Now, the problem obviously is if you're working on some trim that's excessively dry and it's not dark in color, you're kind of screwed. So that's where I would just do my best to, and I usually carried two different types of dressing. One was a little thicker than the other. Like Chemical Guys, VRP, which stands for vinyl rubber plastic, I think it's a pretty decent product. That was one of the dressings I would use. And it is a water-based dressing. And really, in an ideal situation, you might want to carry what would be considered a oil-based or a silicone-based or a solvent-based dressing. They tend to be the type of dressings that have, what they might call extreme shine or intense shine. I'm not a huge fan of those in general uses, but you might be able to finesse the plastic with one of those. And if it ends up being too shiny, you just knock it down, meaning you just take a different cloth and you knock it down, really rub it in, work it in. So I don't know if that helps or not, but those are my go-to techniques when dealing with what you described. And honestly, at 2014, 10 years old, 20, I don't know. I mean, I bet I've done like 2 Ultimas in my entire career. And that's kind of the nature of people that drive Ultimas. They're generally driving an Ultima because they don't have a huge disposable income. Point is, and I think Ultima, that's Nissan, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Nissan, they make decent products. And what I mean by that is, I don't know what the lowest model of a Nissan is.
It's the SV.
Not an Ultima, I know that.
It's an SV, I think it's called.
Point is the materials, even though that car's 10 years old and only has 22,000 miles on it, I suspect, based on your question, that you've never detailed it before. So you're kind of preemptively maybe asking this question with the possibility that it might be a problem. I suspect it probably won't be a problem. I mean, based on what I remember about doing an Ultima, I don't recall having a problem with the plastics. I would say, for example, if you were to throw out a Chrysler or a Jeep to me and it was the same age, I'd be like, yes, definitely that could be a problem. I feel like Chrysler and Jeep uses some of the most garbage materials for their interiors. But hey, that's just me.
All right, so we got Umberto here talking about it too, Darren.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have a gray version, which obviously you could get that also. I've never had the solution finish, the black original version, truly turn gray material into black. It will make it darker, but I've never had it like fully turn it into black. Forgot the name, solution finish. I don't know if James the Tyrant Terminator. That's a mouthful, James. Thanks for tuning in. I like the picture of you on a horse, by the way. I like horses. Horses are cool. You know what I think are really cool about horses? This is so random. They're so lean. You can see all their muscles, and they're just amazing animals.
Mm.
I wish I worked at Chase Morgan Bank in mortgage department. I'm not exactly sure how to interpret that. Sorry, Nolan. Have y'all been good or naughty? Probably a combination of both. And some of the naughty I can even talk about. Honda Element. Yeah, actually, Honda Elements those are a nightmare. By the way, I've never had to detail a Honda Element, and the reason I'm saying they're a nightmare is because I've always dreaded the moment. Yeah, you see the exterior, it has so much of this plastic trim on it, and it does not hold up that well, in my opinion. And
I know. Go. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. What were you gonna say?
After you're done about this, there's a car that I did detail, which is worse than an Element.
I was just trying to ruminate in my head as to thinking what that possibly be, because the only one maybe that I would say is worse is just a Jeep Wrangler. Those suck. They have so much black trim on them. But what are you thinking of?
I know Chevy and Cadillac made it. Chevy plastic truck. Let's see.
Oh, it's a truck? Oh, you're talking about that funky
I forgot what it's called.
That's a close. I would say you're right. That's a no. It's got this the weird all plastic. I've done those, by the way.
Yeah.
And Cadillac has their version of it, but it's the Chevy version that has that big piece of plastic that kind of connects. It's almost like a
kind of like this one.
Yeah, sort of. Right. That's similar to that one on the third row. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Over to what's the Chevy version? I can't remember. It's been so long.
The Chevy one's worse. It's all plastic. It's all like cheap plastic.
Yes, and I have done one of those, and I have restored that big, bulky plastic thing.
Yeah.
And I use solution finish to do it, and it works great. I'm a big fan of solution finish. They work for us, not the other way around. Dude, we're so on board with that. This country is such a mess in so many ways. Both gray and black trims and works perfectly. Yeah, I know Chris West. He's the developer of Solution Finish. He and I go back pretty far, but yeah, he makes a great product. And I asked him about that. I said, dude, how come you don't make a product for the interiors? I said, by the way, I use your product on the interiors. He goes, no, I get it. I don't know why he hasn't. I mean, maybe he has, and I just don't know about it. I suppose that's a possibility. Yes, sir. That's actually a good point, sir.
I don't know what it's called.
Yes, sometimes I make a good point. Man, it's bugging me. I can't remember the name of that truck.
And I'm trying to find it, but Google is stupid.
Yeah, shameful is.
It's kind of like this one right here.
It makes my it is that one.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Click on that.
Open.
Maybe you could use the image and ask ChatGPT.
I can. It's right here.
But what's it called?
The Avalanche.
Really?
That's what it is.
I would have never remembered that. It's been, probably at least 10 years since I've touched one of those.
There we go.
And look at, I forgot about that whole bottom cladding that they had. What a nightmare.
I done one of those. And the one I did was in the sun all day.
Yeah.
And the black was, it was really bad. and because it was black, the one I did originally,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Can you restore it?" I'm like, "Ooh."
Ooh,
I was
that's
like,
going to be tricky.
"I'll do the best I can, but it won't be permanent." That's what I told him.
Huh.
Anyways, I wonder if you can use solution finish and then use the ceramic coating. Do you think that will last longer? I don't know.
Well, when you say ceramic coating, you would, I suspect you mean some type of coating that's made for plastic
Yeah,
versus,
yeah,
yeah. I would suspect it would.
yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. But who would want to restore something? No offense to anybody who owns this truck, but this truck sucks. So
Yeah. In case you own one of these trucks, I'm
yeah,
not going to offend you, but
yeah,
now I am going to offend you. This
yeah.
truck sucks.
It sucks. Here's a
No substitute or something
app.
experience.
I don't know.
Apt, maybe. Maybe he meant to type APT.
I don't
Apt.
know. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Yes, that Chevy is plastic trash.
Yeah, yeah,
Almost as trash as the Jeep or the
yeah. Jeep 2.
Chrysler. Oh my gosh, I hated Chrysler paint. You know what's ironic is Chrysler actually has some of the best paint finish, and I'm stressing the finish part, meaning lack of orange peel effect. But Mercedes, on the other hand, to me has far superior paint, but they have some of the worst orange peel ever. And it's bizarre. Like even the AMG models, which are the upgraded performance arm of Mercedes, even the AMG models have just horrific orange peel. But the Chrysler cars, it's bizarre. They really are pretty flat, as in texture flat, not glossy flat. Paint finishes. It's bizarre. Yeah, Chris West is totally the ZZ Top man. I think we know how old Umberto is. That's why he even knows who ZZ Top is.
Well, I know who ZZ Top is. They're like the '80s. They're really big in the '80s.
Yeah, but you're old enough also. Meaning,
Yeah.
if a lot of these guys are young bucks, they're
Right.
in their 20s, whatever, and they'll be like, "What the hell's a ZZ Top?"
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Solution Finish, it's works great. It's affordable. Yep, I'm a fan. And some have the zebra marks, yes, because I think Chris West he calls that tiger striping versus zebra marks, but I know exactly what you mean. In fact, I'll see cars rolling down the road and it's so extreme, those tiger stripes. Detailing, the title would go to the auto detailer fetish. Maybe, I don't know. You know what I've played with this idea. I think it'd be really cool if you had a competition, a detailing competition.
Yeah.
So you would have two identical cars to the best you could and have them dirty the best you could identically, and you'd get a team, a detailing team, and you could have like an actual shop or one guy competing against another guy, and like you would metric it out. For example, say, okay, we're gonna judge you based on speed, like how fast you can get done, and then we're gonna judge you on the results that you do. Um, and that would be the simple competition is that. And I would love to go up against other detailers and see if my personal techniques, stuff that I've developed over my career, if it would really prove out that I could produce the desired results in a more efficient way, which would translate into a quicker time. I'm willing to bet that I could, but I think I'd make a good show. Many young bloods don't know ZZ Top. Yeah. I mean, I wonder if those dudes are even still alive.
They're there. I just put them on the screen, Darren.
No, I see them, but that doesn't mean they're still alive. These could be pictures from years ago for all I know. Because honestly, with that much hair, facial hair, it's hard to tell how old they are. Whether it was 30 years ago or modern or current day. I have no idea. I mean, I was not a ZZ Top fan anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I concur. Hey, that's my word. I use that word, James. I concur. Yes. Oh, so Sean. Oh, Berto seems to know. Only one remains.
Wait, we're skipping. We're skipping.
Oh, are you? No, I'm not a member of an IDA. I was one time, and it was based on a strategy, the mobile detail shop. And thanks for tuning in. We may have already said that, and if I
Yeah.
did, I apologize.
Yeah, he's already been talking to you.
Yeah, sorry, man. It's Saturday
Th-
night at 6:25, and I'm working on a bit of a deficit as far as food goes.
Sorry, there's Umberto. Now you say Umberto.
Yeah, Umbert, the only one remains. Anyhow, IDA, I get the I get the reason they have it. I'm not a huge fan because I thought, well, I'm paying them this money. I know they were there to promote the industry and to grow it and to, kind of what's the word I'm looking for? To make it uniform as far as techniques and that type of stuff. So I get it, the purpose of it. I just didn't really lean into it as far as like, oh my gosh, because a lot of guys thought it was a kind of like a badge of honor, like, oh, my customers, they're going to see that I'm a IDA member and they're going to take me more serious. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Mr. Darren is a genius, has a lot of experience, and there is no app or substitute for experience. Either you have it or you don't. Yep, that is true. The good news is that you can gain experience.
Hey, Darren, sound's gone. Darren, sound. Okay. So Darren's having some technical difficulties, so we'll let him figure that out. There he is.
How about now?
You're back.
I've never actually played with this stupid. I don't even know. Yeah, I guess it serves a purpose. I would never trust a mute button when it came down to it. I mean, what if you said something you didn't want the world to know and you think it's on mute? It says it's on mute, but somehow it's still transmitting. Yeah. I use a lot that word. I concur. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Cool. Check. I am IDA. I do all. That's funny. You reconfigured the acronym there, Umberto. But yes, I was muted. But you can hear me okay, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Check. Yep. Mothership. Do we have a go? So, Sean, when we first got on tonight, I was laughing pretty hard, and the reason I didn't really get to finish my story. And by the way, if you guys have, I really like that question from Nolan about the interior. If you guys have some specific questions, throw them our way, man. Like challenge me. Like literally, even if you didn't have a question that really was a question, maybe you just wanted to challenge me. You can do that. From you guys, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time for this on Saturday. Well, we appreciate you being here. And
also, don't forget to like and subscribe to both our channels. Really appreciate it.
Yes, in case anyone is wondering, because I can't tell who is. When you guys leave your comments here, there's no indicator to say, okay, is this person watching on Sean's channel, which is Shine Like a Pro AZ, or my channel, which is Auto Fetish Detail? I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But for you guys in audience land, you may be a little confused, like, wait, I'm not really sure what's going on here. So this is streaming on our both our separate channels.
Yeah.
I'm laughing now because I just looked at that one. Nolan, do you understand women? Actually, I do, Nolan. And I'm going to tell every one of you guys that you absolutely, positively, regardless of your age or relationship status, you need to understand women. And my go-to for that has been Rollo Tomasi. He wrote a book called The Rational Male. In fact, look it up, Sean. Type in The Rational Male. Yeah, it's all that stuff's going to be garbage. How do you understand women? Basically, the world is unanimous that you can't understand women because they're illogical creatures.
What was it called? The rational what?
Rational male, as in
Male.
female male. Yeah, Rollo. Yep, there it is. So there's Rollo Tomasi on that thumbnail, although there's two thumbnails. So it comes in Audible book. You can get it in Audible, which is what I did. He also has a YouTube channel, which I would not recommend just tuning into his YouTube channel to learn the basics. You really need to learn the fundamentals. It's called hypergamy. It's the female imperative, and there's 3 points to it. And Sean's probably getting bugged because I'm going way off track of detailing.
No,
but
it's okay.
Nolan asked.
That's what I'm saying. If the audience asks, it's different.
Yeah, see, look what he just said. You said any question, and I love that question. Like, I would rather talk about that, to be candid with you guys. I'd rather talk about that all day long than detailing. Not that I don't enjoy detailing, but to me, it's just I don't know, it's just a good conversation. And to me, it's way more critical in life, honestly, to understand the female imperative as compared to like understanding detailing. That's just me. I go to both channels and hit the like button besides writing on the comments first. Yeah, you know what? And we see that, Umberto, and we appreciate it because I know you know enough to know that that helps the algorithms, that thing we have to pander to. Why doesn't NOL appear on my side of the chat?
But then Umberto already answered that question. He said he can see him.
He said what?
Umberto said he can see his chat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and here's a question.
Okay, watching from Auto Channel, what kind of cleaner did you use on the wheels and dressing on the wheels? Well, Janet, she's been here before, right?
Many times. Yeah.
Well, welcome back, Janet. And if I remember correctly, she always comes up with these good questions. I think is she the one that asks us what kind of cars we drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Watching from Auto Channel. I'm not exactly sure to interpret that, but it doesn't matter. So what kind of cleaner?
She's saying she's watching from your channel, Auto Fetish.
I see. Yeah. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
So it depends on what time frame I'm going to answer that question. For example, when I first started and I didn't know any better, I just used a basic like all-purpose cleaner to clean wheels, and it kind of worked. But then the supplier that I used, and this is way before the internet, you got to remember, the internet did not exist. And so I had a guy that would service the car washes in the area, and he would stop and talk to the detailers like myself, the mobile detailers, and he introduced me to wheel acid, which I believe is hydrofluoric acid. And that stuff was amazing. I mean, it just reacted to the brake dust and the dirt, and it just did a fabulous job. The problem is a few problems. One, it's not good for your health. Breathing the fumes, getting it on your skin, not good. Also, not good for the environment. So you wash it away and it just leaches out into the environment. So not good. I used that for years, and I used to rationalize it in my little brain and saying like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, even though I did know it was a bigger deal than I wanted to admit. And then finally I thought, you know what? Like, I don't want to use this stuff anymore. I don't want to trash my health. And so I switched to Simple Green, which is an environmentally safe product. It's nowhere near as strong of a cleaner than you can find in most every other cleaner, but it is effective on wheels that you keep up on. So as my business evolved and as I evolved as a person, my clientele became different, meaning I'm not showing up to cars that are 10 years old and the owner has allowed brake dust to accumulate for months and months at a time, or years and years at a time. So I was dealing with cars that were kept up on the regular. And the point I'm getting at is that I didn't need to use an acid-based cleaner any longer to clean the wheels because I was not dealing with, years of brake dust that had accumulated and began to stick to the wheel, especially if you're doing the wheelbarrows.
Well, what would you recommend now, Darren, if they had to use a product today? What would you recommend?
only a person can decide that. So I know for certain that like the iron removers or the um, acid-based wheel cleaners, they absolutely positively perform way better than any other cleaner. The problem is do you want to worry about your health? Are you going to use protection? Are you going to use glasses because you can flip it up in your eyes and it burns like crazy? If you have open wounds, it burns like crazy, and it will leach into your skin if you don't use gloves. And then never mind about the runoff. So really, only a person can decide if they're willing to, because there is no perfect answer. It's just a matter of weighing in on the trade-offs. Everything has trade-offs. So what is the winning balance for you? So if you're looking for speed and effectiveness, you're going to want an acid-based wheel cleaner. Now, there's a workaround, which is you can lay down a containment mat and you can catch your water. And then, of course, you can dress up and wear all the protection, eyeglasses and nitrile gloves. Anyhow, so,
What
and
about
then she asked about
the
dressing.
dressing? Yeah, I was gonna tell you. Yeah.
I prefer water-based dressing. I think that there's so many good dressings out there, and the reason I prefer water-based dressing because they are easier to work with. Now, just something I learned. Actually, I had to kind of learn this in my own head, and now I'm only hesitating because Tom also confirmed this. Tom Horvath. So, for example, I was kind of confused with water-based dressings, and I promoted them because my point is that I want my tire sidewall to be perfectly clean before I put a new application of dressing on it, regardless of my choice in dressing. Because, like, for example, people that go to car washes repeatedly, and that's how they get their cars washed, like a full service car wash, they do not clean the tire sidewalls very well. And so what ends up happening is they just cake on and layer on additional layers of dressing without fully removing the old dressing, and you get this really gross, greasy black buildup. I have a few videos dedicated to it. So that can still happen with a water-based dressing, but the solvent or oil-based dressings are used at car washes typically because they will shine more. They're able to produce a better shine on more tires. What a lot of people don't understand is that the tire sidewall, or I should be more specific, the rubber composition that the tire is made of and how the tire is molded, as in the sidewall, is as big of a determinant on how well a dressing responds to it as much as your choice in dressing. So for example, you can get a cheap dressing, let's say a really cheap water-based dressing, and you can use it on a performance tire that, a performance tire that costs like $300-400 a corner. Anything's going to work because the rubber composition is so superior, so good on those performance tires. But the problem is most people aren't driving on those kinds of tires. So that's why car washes typically use an oil-based dressing, because they will produce a glossier gloss, a shinier shine, and they're pretty cheap to make. And so that's why they use them, but they accumulate over time. They get dirt. So those oil-based dressings, while they'll shine up very well, the dirt can stick to them better. So the analogy I use when you're thinking about water-based products, think of it like latex paint, specifically when it comes to tire dressings, or when you're dressing the exterior trim with your like in this case, Sean just pulled up new tire lotion, which is CSI's dressing. You can use it on anything that you would any other dressing, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
So think about, meaning most people listening aren't old enough to remember back in the day when it came to, let's say, for example, painting your house. You had oil-based paints that became illegal due to environmental concerns. So everything became water-based paints, and they didn't last as long. They weren't as durable, but the trade-off is they're better for the environment. But if you're familiar with painting, you're like, wait, a water-based paint, the cool thing about it, or one of the cool things, is that it cleans up with water. You don't need the solvents in order to clean your paintbrushes and your messes. But which is kind of confusing. At least it confused my brain, because I thought, well, wait a minute. If I'm using a water-based dressing on a tire sidewall, even if it dries, it's going to wash off with water. Well, that's not true. So what happens is the water is the carrier for the active ingredients, and that water evaporates just like it does on latex paint. So while the latex paint is still liquid and it's not exposed to the air as an oxygen, then it remains liquid and it can be washed away. But once the water evaporates out of the latex paint or the water-based dressing, now it becomes what's called, it can't be reversed. So it becomes a compact knit of atoms, and now it is essentially not water soluble any longer. So I don't know, that's a long explanation, but that's what is required to understand the difference between like solvent-based dressings, water-based dressing. And if anyone out there in viewer land has a brain like mine and you think like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Water-based tire dressing, that just seems so counterintuitive. Why would you want to use a water-based dressing on a tire sidewall? Because it's just going to wash off. Well, it's not. You know, once it evaporates, the active ingredients remain there. They create a good, tight chemical bond, and you're good to go.
All right, we got a lot of questions there. I'm gonna
All right, cool.
try to catch up. One second.
Okie dokie, thanks.
And then they're saying this is from a while ago. So
seems others are on Sean's channels. Yeah.
Okay.
Been with my girl for 6 years. Tire for her SUV. I've mentioned I have a negative experience at Discount Tire, and guess what? Here you are. Oh, that makes sense. Hopefully. Today she bought tires at Discount Tire, even though I told her not to. I have not said anything to her yet. Explain that one to me, Darren. LOL. Well, that would take a long explanation, and that's probably not enough information. I mean, she could just be a prideful woman. She could be shit testing you, Nolan. How about that? Do you know what a shit test is? And what you need to do is you need to step up and throw the hammer down and show her who the alpha male is in the moment. And she will resist, and she'll probably give you pushback, but she doesn't know it, but that's exactly what she wants. She wants you to take charge. If you can only choose from one brand, what would it be? Crypto. I like that moniker, by the way. I'm a huge crypto fan. Go Bitcoin. Let me think. See, that depends on, because I'm scrolling through my brain and I'm thinking of all these, for example, like Chemical Guys or Turtle Wax. Those are what I would call true hardcore retail brands. But then you go to what I would call more professional detailing brands, like, for example, gosh, now my brain is going to fade. Like, who makes Optimum? Okay, Optimum. I like their stuff.
You say you like 3D, right? 3D?
Yes, I do like 3D. You know what? Maybe I'd probably lean into Adams as far as a retail brand goes. Adams, I don't know. Honestly, that's the good news, is there's so many good products. It's kind of hard to go wrong these days. Chemical Guys, Adams, Turtle Wax. I mean, in many ways, they're just mimicking each other.
Yeah.
Simple Green is adorable. I think you meant affordable. Although maybe you think they're adorable. I love it. I buy it in a gallon. Yes, I do as well. I pushed Simple Green into this industry years ago because all in the name of keeping things simple, no pun intended. But I don't know, this industry wants you to buy 500 different products to detail your car. And I never thought that was necessary. So Simple Green was my solution. Never mind that it truly is about as, I mean, you like the original formulation, which you've just pulled up, Sean. The only difference is that yellow capped one that just has a little bit of a lemon smell to it.
Right.
But it's like you could literally drink this stuff and you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't recommend it.
No, I don't recommend you drink it.
Yeah,
I don't think it'd be very flavorful. Do you have a relatively strong grip, Darren, working with your hands over the years? Yes, I do. Also because I've been lifting weights for actually longer than I've been detailing. I've been hitting weights for 40 years, I would say, at least. One brand doesn't have all the best of products. That's true. You work with what you have first and then explore on other options. I concur, Umberto. Yes. Oh, hey, Details official. You guys are here. Well, at least one of you are here, unless that means both of you are here, because I know there's two of them, right? The brothers?
Yeah.
Sean was talking about you guys. He tuned into, apparently you guys did a live stream yesterday morning, pretty early. So he was mentioning that he tuned into your live stream. So well done. New tire lotion is good stuff. Well, I'm glad you like it. I liked it. It was never too glossy and worked great on my performance tires. Works great. Yeah, I still use it. Tire lotion. I know it's kind of a weird name. I get it.
Yeah, it is kind of odd.
Yeah, it is. I think Tom was, I know I asked him about it. I don't remember what his answer was. He actually did not want to even produce a tire dressing of any kind because he was all about the body shop and environment. Anyhow, in the 80s, going to car exhibitions, you would see people using Armor All on tires or Pledge did better. You know, once again, Umberto is revealing his age. Like most people, I wonder how many people in this audience even know what Pledge is.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally use Pledge as a wax to wax your car with. And of course, everyone's going to recognize Armor All because they're still, I would say they're still relevant. But Pledge, like that is what do they call it? It's for furniture. Yeah, they call it furniture polish. There's a word that's been watered down to the point where you just don't even know what it means. Polish, like polish. What kind of polish? I did a whole video on that, for example. That's actually funny. I'm not sure which part he's referring to, but I'll run with that. We always knew who used Pledge because of the lemon scent. That's funny, dude. You're on the ball. Like that's the Wayback Machine. That was part of their commercial. Was lemon scent Pledge. Not only would it clean your furniture, or not only could you polish your furniture with it. Which, by the way, if I've used this comparison, that analogy with customers. For example, when I'm using waterless washing techniques or rinseless washing techniques and my customers ever question it, I would say, well, think of it like dusting your furniture, because that's really what Pledge is about, is you spray it all over your dusty furniture that's your nice furniture that you don't want to scratch by just wiping up the dust. So the Pledge sprays this stuff, which I guarantee it has silicone in it, which I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying silicone is kind of the go-to chemical for a lot of these. And then it would encapsulate the dirt and be able to not only dust your furniture, but leave a clean shine and gloss, as well as a lemony scent. And so I would use that analogy with my customers, and they were instantly able to understand the methodology behind it. A shit test. Oh yeah, shit test. Yes. Well, if you read Rational Male, or if you tune into it's what's called the manosphere. It's this whole community online. It's all about the men's movement, and they call it the manosphere. And that is something you'll learn is what a shit test is. And women love to test you because they want you to be dominant. They want you to be the alpha male. And because so many of us guys are groomed or trained to be submissive or to be the more noble guy and just take it, like a man, which is the actual opposite of taking it like a man. And so women, they actually don't respect that, and they lose respect if you don't operate like the alpha male. And so they give you these shit tests that are nothing more than a test, and they don't even know that they're doing it. Some of them do, the real manipulative ones do, but others they really don't, because they're just working instinctually based on the female imperative. Hammer down, it is. LOL. Yes. Be the daddy role all girls seek. Yeah, that's important. I use the first rinseless on a 94 quick and easy wash. On 94, unless you meant a Buick, an easy wash. What's on a 94 quick and easy wash? I'm not sure how to interpret that, Umberto.
I'm sure he'll tell us.
Yeah. Any opinion on the Superior Products line of products? No, I'm not familiar with them, Stephen. And Stephen, I think he might be a first here.
Yes, I think so too.
So, Stephen, welcome to the channel, whoever channel you're tuning in from. But I'm not familiar with that product line. Why don't you pull it up, see if you can find it, Sean?
Which one?
You'll have to look right through the comments.
Superior Products line?
Yeah. I've just never heard of them. Put in Superior Products, detailing products, or detail products, whatever.
They're there.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They look like a lot of products that cater to the actual detailing world and probably car wash world. I suspect they make decent products. It reminds me of like, is it Malco? Type in Malco, MALCO, and then put car care products. I think that's their name. Now, do you see a theme there? Does it look, their labeling look similar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Malco though at the top, those top rows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it reminds me of, is Malco, and they've been around for forever. Official Joel and Sal. Umberto says hi. I've been a follower of Darren since 2013. At time you used to upload weekly. Good times indeed. Oh, well, you have been with me for a while. 2013. In fact, I was looking at my oldest video, and I think it's like 12 years old, maybe 14.
Yeah.
I don't remember now, but 2013, that would have been towards the very beginning. So thanks for tuning in all these years, James. I know a guy who uses Pledge on all his chrome and nickel plating on his classic vehicles. It actually works. Not sure if it's good for it, but that stuff shines. No, it does work. It's definitely not bad for it. It's not going to damage it. No, trust me, there's many. They used to use it at car shows. It was just so quick and easy. I mean, it was quick, easy, and it created a shine that was temporary. I mean, it's not going to last. It's not going to last through a washing, but it really was just like a sure thing, a quick, easy, sure way to produce a shine on just about most anything. I'm glad to see you're still the same dude, simply operating on pure wisdom and logical sense. Well, thank you. I'd like to think I am. I just think that now I come with more logic and more wisdom because of the life I have lived, which has been quite a life, I would say. Beta man for sure. Is that, I wonder if that's, yeah, I mean, if you want to do a deeper dive, I'm what you would call a sigma male, which is different than an alpha male. You can look it up. I'll let you look that one up. The difference between a sigma male versus an alpha male. And by the way, I used to be a lay down male in a lot of ways. But to clarify, when it came to the public and the world, very much alpha. But when it came to my relationships, because of my religious upbringings, I was taught to be, the slow to anger, slow, biblical there. Be patient, long suffering. And so you kind of submit to these women that just can get out of control because I relate it to like taking care of a dog or training a dog. Like if you do not be the master of that dog, it will become neurotic and it'll get out of control and it's going to just get into all kinds of neurotic behaviors. And I know if any woman heard me talking this way, they'd think like, oh my God, this guy's a misogynist. He's a woman hater. It's like, well, you know what? I didn't create the female species. So how about that? Just like I didn't create the male species, but I recognize the differences of them. And I've spent time understanding the female psyche. Yes, I saw Sean at Details live stream. Yes, he mentioned you, Umberto. They're cost effective. I suspect that they are. Like I said, I compared them to Malco. And I
They're
used to
they're
use, what's
they're
that, Sean?
they're a lot cheaper than Malco.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not surprised. I mean, there's definitely money to be made in these products. Let's see. Next was the first wrenchless, and then Optimum came with O&R. Okay. I'm not familiar with Quick and Easy Wash.
I'll look it up.
Put rinseless next to it. Yeah, I figured that it wouldn't deliver the right information. Put rinseless after it. Still no?
No,
Yeah,
maybe
Umberto, maybe you can tell us the brand name or who made that stuff, because I'm not really familiar with that. I have a question, not in sync with the narrative, but I can't help myself. Is it me or last couple winter have been really light? I live in Spokane. You know what? I actually do. That's one of the topics that I do a deep dive on is weather patterns. So, for example, you have El Nino and El Nina, I think. And so, and I was just doing this research last weekend on YouTube, and they're explaining the weather patterns. And when you start studying weather, it really is very interesting, at least for myself. So you have these weather patterns that have to do with a lot of events. Nah, that's not the right word. Point is there's weather patterns and they will dominate the world. So weather can be very specific to where you live in the world, but overall we do go into these, and I'll keep it simple in this moment. You have the El Nino, and I think the opposite is El Nina. So El Nino typically means you're going to have the opposite effect of what you normally do. So for example, let's say in winter, the temperatures are a certain degree, you get a certain amount of snow, a certain amount of rain. Well, during El Nino, it's going to be more, or it's going to be the opposite. So you'll have less rain, less snow, less temperatures, be more mild. But then El Nina, if I'm getting this correctly, it actually enhances your current weather pattern. So you just get more of the same, which kind of is confusing. But what I can tell you is that there is weather patterns, and when you study them, it makes sense. So like, for example, the weather pattern here for this fall, to me, is not as good as the past few years. For example, I'm having to wear more clothes when I go to the beach on the weekends. There's a lot of excessive humidity. Like normally in fall, it's one of the best times of the year. Actually, what's the date today? 21st. So officially, this is winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. And I love this point because now moving forward, I know that every day is going to get a little bit longer as far as daylight because I hate winter, even though this is winter. But winter solstice, it's the shortest day of the year as far as daylight. Anyhow, so if you study those weather patterns, it'll make sense to you. El Nino versus La Nina. Maybe that's what it is, La Nina.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so in my area, yeah, so far fall has been a buzzkill. I mean, I can't really complain because I'm still able to go to the beach and enjoy it. But most of the falls, at least the past few years, really low humidity, pristine skies. I mean, it's just great. But like, for example, this morning at the beach, completely fogged in, like probably 5 feet of visibility. It was so bad. And then when it finally clears, it's just the air is thick with humidity and haze, and it just sucks. It's a total buzzkill.
I do something to share. I forgot to tell you, Darren, that
Yeah.
I learned a couple days ago was that the new administration that starts in January 21st, I think it is.
Yeah, I think they're sworn in on the 20th.
20th. Okay, yeah. So they said that they're going to remove daylight savings for the entire country.
Are you serious?
And I was like, thank God, because I live in Arizona.
Wow, really?
So I live in Arizona, right? Where
wow, about effing time.
Yeah, there's no daylight savings in Arizona. So Arizona and Hawaii are the two places that don't have daylight savings. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of that crap because it's the stupidest thing ever.
It is because it pushes it to the extreme. Like during summertime when it's already plenty of daylight, they make it more daylight, which I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah.
But it's wintertime. It's so extreme where you're already working under diminished light because of winter and the axis tilt of this Earth compared to the sun. And they make it worse by kicking the clock back. It's just so aggravating.
Yeah. Anyways, okay.
Yeah. For a couple of years, learned a lot. I'm looking to start a detailing business soon. I've seen recordings of a lot of the previous streams, but never caught on live. Well, glad you caught it tonight, Stephen. Good luck with your journey.
And make sure you tell Stephen what days and times we're on.
Oh, yes. So, Stephen, just FYI, we are here every Saturday night at 6 o'clock PST. And in case you've lived under a rock for the past X amount of years, that's Pacific Standard Time, is in the Pacific Coast. I reside from Southern California in Orange County, and Sean is on his channel, and he is in, what do you call it, East Valley, Sean, the general area of Arizona?
Or Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, Phoenix. And so, but they call it East Valley?
It's a suburb of Phoenix.
Okay. So Sean's coming from Phoenix, Arizona. So Sean, what time is it for you right now then if you're not on daylight savings?
It's 8 o'clock, 8:02, whatever.
Okay, because it's 7 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Interesting. All righty. Oh no, that beta man comment was in reference to today's young man. You know what? It's hard to even say that. I don't even know if they're beta men. Like because that's the Greek alphabet, alpha, beta. What's number 3? I don't remember now. I used to remember, but I don't even know if they're beta, dude. They're probably like they're further down on that hierarchy, in my opinion. They're so soft. Beta male. Simps. I wonder if anyone's familiar with the term simps. If you're a simp, you're a low T beta simp. There's some acronyms and some what's the word? Abbreviations. Yeah, you guys definitely need to read the book. Oh, there we go. Alpha, beta, delta. Yeah, okay, delta. I wonder if that's really okay. So there's sigma, which is actually is confusing. But you see the way actually the way that sigma is dressed makes sense.
Yeah.
But the way they have the alpha male dress, that really doesn't make sense. I mean, that's kind of a poor representation.
Well, it's supposed to be like somebody in charge, someone like a leader. Someone doesn't take any crap.
What's that?
Someone who doesn't take any crap from no one.
Yeah, that's alpha and sigma. The difference is that alpha will be the leader of a group. And often alphas want to be the leader of the group because they want the notoriety. They want to be that guy that everyone follows and he gets the attention from it. Sigma, on the other hand, he's going to be the leader, but he's only concerned with himself, meaning he's going his own way. He's doing things according to what he wants, not anyone else. He doesn't care what the group says. He's not going to follow along with the herd mentality. He's not interested in being the leader of the herd mentality. Whereas in the alpha he'll want to be a leader of the herd. The sigma doesn't care. Protect all made quick and easy. Protect all. Yeah, I've never heard of protect all either, which you're kind of suggesting that this is the Wayback Machine, but I've never even heard that. Yeah, type in protect all quick and easy wash. Wait for it. Is that it?
No, it's probably this one here.
Oh, there on the screen, I see a gallon size. If you, the top row to like 5 positions to the right was a gallon of Protectol. No, click your screen back. Yeah, see that top row? It's kind of a light lavender.
Yeah.
In a gallon size, right there. But what does it see? All surface cleaner with 1 gallon refill jug. So that's interesting. All surface cleaner, an ASC, all surface cleaner. I've never heard of that before.
Well, you have now.
Yeah, and that's quite a lot of ratings. We need more people like you to teach young guys coming in. Seems like all the older YouTube teachers just want to advertise products now. Yeah, which I get. I mean, I was guilty of that to a degree when I was with CSI, but I do feel that I was different in this respect, that I really understood the Clear Coat Solutions approach, which was all about simplicity. And that just made your life easier. And that's what I taught on my YouTube. I mean, that's how I've lived in my life since decades ago. It's like, okay, I'm a results driven person. I'm not a process driven person. So I want less moving parts as part of the process because I'm chasing the results. That's what I'm after, is I want to produce the results, the desired outcome. Therefore, I'm incentivized to figure out how to do it with less moving parts and do it in a more efficient way. And so when I was with CSI, it made perfect sense because that was the same ideology that he was pushing. And so that's what I taught was, hey, these products can simplify your world. There's less moving parts. And so I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying as far as these older guys want to just, everyone wants to create. It's like I said on the interview I did with Nick at night. It's like everyone wants to talk about detailing. They want to shoot videos about detailing. They even want to teach other people how to detail. They want to come up with their own brand of products about detailing. But no one wants to actually detail cars anymore. You know why? Because it's hard work.
Yeah.
But you go onto YouTube and you have all these what I call kind of pseudo experts. They're like, oh, do it my way, and here's some products for you to buy that I made, I developed. Anyhow, so I get it. I don't think that's me. The sun is at its climax in solar activity. Opposite of El Nino is La. Yes, thank you. That's what I think I finally corrected myself. Yes, La Nina.
Yeah, you did correct yourself.
Been following on a fish for years now. I've been detailing since the 80s. And by the way, Jeff H., I think he's new to this.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so welcome, Jeff. And based on your avatar, you're a cat person versus a dog person. I've been detailing since the 80s and how the products have changed. Every old detailer now has their own products. Where is yours? Yeah, I know, right? Well, I kind of did with CSI for a while. That went south, not because the products went south, but the partnership went south. I mean, honestly, in a perfect world, if I had the money, as in working capital, I would create my own product line as well as my own tool line. And I would keep it super simple, but I would deliver or offer products that I know worked and tools that I know worked, whether it's just a detail brush to a dusting brush to a wheel brush. It's like there's so many tools out there that, in my opinion, aren't that good. They work, but they're not that good. And so my goal was I'm going to produce stuff that truly I've tested and I know will produce the results, and it will do it in an efficient way. So that's what I wanted. That clearly has not materialized. Amen. That's actually a good point to bring forward. Now I have something to look forward to longer days. Yes. See, this is the tipping point. Today specifically, this is kind of fortuitous that today is the winter. Actually, I don't know. Do they call it the winter equinox? Is that synonymous with the winter solstice? I don't think it is. I think those are two different terms. But this is winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. And by shortest, I mean time or sun exposure. So June 21st is the polar opposite. That's the longest day of the year. Now, the problem is that here in Southern California, we have this thing called June gloom. So even though June is in summer, it's still not the best weather of the year. It's not till towards the end of summer, but by once you pass June 21st, though, the days get increasingly shorter. And I'm already starting to count down in dread because I'm dreading these short days of winter. So this is the point where it's like, yes, I get to wake up tomorrow and know that tomorrow is going to be slightly longer with sun exposure than today was. We don't have daylight savings time.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised,
I
Bort,
keep,
though.
I keep forgetting that Puerto Rico, even though it's not a state, is technically part of the United States because they all have American passports.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird
Yeah.
thing how that I don't even know the history fully of how that came to be.
Well, I know they don't pay taxes, so they don't pay American taxes, but they do get to have they get to be American citizens.
Yeah.
Which is not fair.
Yeah, I know. Wow, great news. Yes, it is. I'm in Oregon. All we get is rain. Hard to detail this time of year. Dude, I don't know how you do it up in Oregon. I mean, I only hear stories. I suspect they're largely true as into how much rain you have to endure. I probably would be suicidal based on the stories of people that do live in Oregon or Washington and the lack of sun and the colder climates and the rainy. I mean, meaning here in Southern California, I'll be specific. I love the rain, but largely that's based on that I know that it's so temporary. Honestly, in Southern California, we live pretty much in chronic drought. And so I know if it's raining, at best it's going to last a few days and then it's going to be sun, sun, and more sun. I'm spoiled in that respect. Here it's 11 p.m. Dude, I don't know about you, but actually I'm a night owl. I stay up till Actually, I was up till like 2 o'clock last night, 2 in the morning, because I am a night owl. Yeah, DST sucks balls.
Yeah, yeah.
As either the DC or Marvels now. I'm not sure. Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, watch Auto Detailing podcast video on fake detailers betrayal and keeping it real with Jory Belinsky. Interesting. You know what? Auto detail. So the mobile detail shop. Does that mean Jimbo Balam's?
Yeah, I think he's talking about yeah.
On fake detailers betrayal and keeping it real, which is kind of funny because I would say I'm probably one of the most real detailers out there. And I know Jimbo did interview me like years and years ago. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be on the phone to be calling me back anytime soon. I don't know who Jory Belinsky is, though. Interesting. And yes, I'm actually reading your words also. Wait, I want to write that down. Can you pop that back up, Sean, for me?
Yeah, I actually
I
got to meet Jimbo in person at SEMA.
I mean, he's a smart dude. He's sharp.
Yeah.
Jory. Autocorrect. I don't want autocorrect right now. Belinsky. Okay, you can
go to the next one.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Pull his name up on the internet, Sean. See if he's Googleable. Okay. I can't even pronounce that. Can you be Googled? CIA Mockingbird is doing its thing. MK Ultra.
Jory.
Yes, now we're getting into conspiracy theories, I suspect, which the problem is so many of these conspiracy theories actually end up not being a theory at all. They're true conspiracies. There is the problem. Far too many conspiracies.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not him.
No.
Why don't you put in, well, you spelled his name incorrectly. You spelled it with a W. So lose
What,
the W on Jory.
well, that's what I was just spelling what he typed in.
I typed in Jory, Jory.
Jory.
Unless my eyes are deceiving me and there's a W. I don't think there was. Oh, there we go.
There's a W on here.
Okay, so yeah, that looks like Jimbo, maybe. The top far left,
Oh yeah,
top
That's
left.
Jimbo. That's Jimbo.
Yeah, so click on that. Oh, wow, that really did much.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I don't know who the dude is. Certainly don't recognize him, but yeah, I recognize. Oh, Jimbo's really getting gray in the facial hair like I am. I think Jimbo's like 15 years younger than me.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember.
I don't know.
The mobile Detsy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
Whatever. We're kind of running out of time, so all
I
right.
know.
Here's
We had some new people tonight, so that was cool.
your
And all
favorite.
those
Here's your favorite subject.
Chris Fix, I've
Yeah.
been a long time subscriber too. Yeah, Chris Fix.
And I totally remember Darren. I told you that I actually met him in person at SEMA.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
Mr.
so
I refuse to show my face. I wonder if he still plays that charade.
he does. I'm actually one of the few people in the world that knows what Chris Fix looks like.
Yeah. Wow, what a mystery.
Yeah.
Do you hear the sarcasm in my voice?
Yeah, I know. And actually, people have asked me before, what does it look like? I can't tell you. I made a promise. I wouldn't describe him.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this much. He's really short. That I will say.
Well, I did see him at SEMA myself. He was,
Yeah.
parading around with this oversized motorcycle helmet on.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not a big guy.
Nah,
That's
he had
for certain.
the lens was tinted like pitch black, so you couldn't see his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did on purpose.
Yes, first from Puerto Rico, he says they have been threatening him over it. I'm not sure who's he's referring to right now. Correction, Joey. Okay, so it's Joey Belinsky, not Jory.
Okay, Joey.
Yeah, I don't know if I've even heard that name, Jory. Joey Belinsky.
Just right here.
Is that him?
I don't know.
I mean, shoot, look up Darren Priest, and you're going to see more than one Darren Priest, even though I would say it's a pretty novel name. But, I mean, Joey Belinsky's kind of novel, but Joey's, that's pretty mainstream.
There we go.
Okay. Not many subscribers.
Yeah, tiny channel.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you just say?
Tiny channel.
Yeah. Can you filter it so it shows the oldest video first?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how old it is.
There it is. A year ago.
Yeah, I suspected although it's 15 videos in a year, he's not really
Active.
Yeah, not particularly active.
I always think it's funny. Like, I actually had a small YouTube channel reach out to me, asking me like, "How is it possible you already have 2,000 subscribers, which is not that many, and I only have like 150?" I think he said. And I went to go look at his channel. I said, "That's because you're not being consistent.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. If not, YouTube will ignore you, and you won't get any views."
Yeah.
So, anyways.
All right, let's blaze through the last few comments.
Yeah.
So far, like pan, kiss. I could interpret that a few ways. After Hispo-American War, we are part of U.S. since. Okay, he's doing a little history for us. Jones Law, we were born U.S. citizens. Interesting. And that goes way back in time, by the way. Was that Seema Tushan? He's 6'7". Jeez.
Way taller than me. So.
Yeah, at 6, like, honestly, there's this law of diminishing returns. So when it comes to actually being a detailer, you can be too tall. It just doesn't work very well. I don't know who Alex Dewar is either, but we'll have to check it out. I'll take a note.
Dewar.
And I'll do the correction on Joey versus Jory. All right. Sean, do you want to peace out? All you guys, tune back in next Saturday. Same bat channel, same bat time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific time. And bring us your questions. Maybe you could challenge Darren with some of your questions. There's a channel. It's Detail Grind Podcast. All right, cool. Detail Grind. Grind it out. Well, you guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it.
By the way, Darren, you're going to have to change the title and the thumbnail when this goes up.
Don't I? Oh, because
I forgot to update to episode 16.
Yeah.
And it will show episode 15. So you just have to change it to 16 instead of 15.
You mean on my end, like with Canva?
Yeah. No, okay. On Canva. No.
I mean, because don't you have an updated thumbnail on your channel?
Yeah. No, I didn't mean the thumbnail. There was the description.
Oh, the description.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna have to upload. You're gonna have to switch it to 16 instead of 15.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take this last one. Have I ever detailed at SEMA? I suspect that's what he meant.
A semi truck.
Oh, semi. Actually, I have. Dude, I have detailed things that you probably don't even know exist. So, for example, a vac door. I don't even know what they're called. It's a big, it's called a Vector truck. And what they use it for, it's a commercial piece of equipment. And it's like a big, huge vacuum cleaner on wheels. And they use it to hone out the sewage systems for municipalities, like city sewage systems. So I had a customer and I did his personal cars and he had a show truck. But that was his business, was he worked for cities for that service. But then what he did is he'd buy these at auction, and he'd have us, as in me and my guys, detail it, and then he'd resell them and make a crap load of money. So have I done? Yeah. In fact, Arian Racing, which is a AMA motorcycle team, a Honda team, he's got a big. You can see some of the stuff on my website. Detailed a few tractors, and when people. When I say tractor, Sean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're talking about like the farmers?
That's what I thought you meant. No.
Yeah.
So in the big rig industry, like semi-trailers.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a history in this. So I don't know why they call them semi-trailers, by the way. But those long-haul rigs, they call them different names. So the tractor is the engine part of the semi-trailer. So the trailer is that. It's a semi-trailer. But what do you call that thing that's pulling the trailer, Sean? You probably call it a big rig?
A trailer.
Or an 18-wheeler? Yeah, but the trailer is the thing that's attached to it and it's being pulled along. So what do you call the thing with the engine that the guy's driving in?
I call it an 18-wheeler.
Exactly. Yeah. So the point is those people that drive those, they call them tractors. They'll either call it their rig, their big rig, or they'll call it tractor. So tractor, when most people hear that term, they think of like farm equipment. But that's not within the industry. They refer to them as tractors. Point is, I've done quite a few.
Before we hang up, we gotta say Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas. I meant to say something at the beginning, and here we are, Umberto, who keeps us in line in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So thank you, Umberto. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad.
Yep.
So yes, enjoy your Christmas. I know I will enjoy my Christmas with my kids, and we will see you guys next weekend.
Yep, next Saturday.
All right, party people.
All right.